Lock it in. Well, let's see. Is this going to be better? Hello, everybody. Today, I'm hoping we'll be able to make a door hanger. It's not really a wreath, but it could take the place of. And it looks something like this. And I want to go through all the steps and show you how I made that. Well, I've seen several different tutorials on using one of these, well, they're actually from the Dollar Tree. It's a form to make a candy cane. And I've seen a lot of different methods to make a candy cane from this. And I don't know, I just thought the other day I'd like something a little more lush or plush or whatever you want to call it. And I thought of this quilt batting that I had in my stash from days of sewing long ago. So I wanted to do something with it. So here's what I did. First of all, I cut some strips. They are about, oh, you can make them about 5 inches wide. And I cut as many strips as I could get out of the batting that I had. Batting, I needed the form, I need scissors, I need ribbon, and I chose just to stick with red and white on this. You could use whatever you like. This is the ribbon I used. Tell you the honest truth, I'm not sure, but I may have gotten that at Trees and Trends. It is beautiful. It's 1.5 inch wide, and this is a 50-yard roll. So I'm not sure if I got it from them or if I got it from Deco Exchange. I'm not sure, but you could just use, you may want to use more colors than that or completely different colors. You might want to go with golds or silvers. Okay, the other things you'll need glue. I chose to use my glue gun instead of my glue pot because of, I think you'll see why in a minute. Because I need to hold this sometimes when I'm working with it. And then I just picked some things I had in my stash again to embellish. I had little balls, I had the lollipop, and I'll tell you about these sticks in a minute. But you can put whatever you want for that. I got some more things out of my stash. You could even do some little elf legs coming out the top. You can do. But let's go ahead and get started. Let me see if I can. Okay. So I also, a couple little things you'll need. I am using some white wire. You don't have to use white wire. You can use green. You might want to use something completely different. This is what I'm used to attach the bow and it to the candy cane. Then I also I got this rope at Home Goods, and it was a 10-yard roll, and hopefully I only used 5 on my first one, and I'm planning on using the next 5. There were 10 yards on a roll. But you could use any kind of rope. You can buy rope at many places, Hobby Lobby, just all kinds of places. So you might find, I don't know if you'll find the red and white, but sure you'll find something you could use. Okay, the very first thing I did was I cut out the shape of the candy cane, because if you look at the back, I took that shape of a candy cane in the white, in this batting, and I covered my work, except for where I tied the bow on, and I haven't even cut that off yet. Right here, the white wire, I haven't cut that off, but everything else makes it look nice, and hopefully it won't scratch anyone's door having that on it. So that is around here somewhere. This stuff is, here it is. See, I laid down my candy cane form, and I just took a pencil and went around it on the batting and put it out. All right, let's get started. All right, first thing I do is take one of my strips and I fold it in half because you really need a double layer in order to hide the frame. You know, it tends to show through if you don't use a double layer. So what I did is I went a little past the edge, you know, to fold under. I also went a little bit down past the bottom, just a little, and I folded that. If you can see, I just folded it. I left a little, okay. So I fold that over and I take my glue gun. I just put a little strip of glue right and fold it over on itself. And then I come back around this way and I start cutting up the wreath form. Now you have to slant it, of course, to make the nice little, you want it to wrap around. You have to make it go a little bit diagonal. That adds some interest rather than just wrapping it, you know, straight around. So as you can see, a little bit. So here we go. It's really not hard. And I think with me trying to do it and make sure I'm in front of the camera, makes it a little harder. So I just keep folding. And so you're covering the edges. And you just keep going around and covering and just keep your batting folded in half. So I'm going around here, keep it folded in half, go around here, and it looks like I don't like that, so what I do then, I won't make it come over quite that much. Well, I could. It won't really hurt anything. I'll just go ahead and put a little bit of glue here, and then just put it on that. That will be fine. Now I'm ready for another piece. Now, I hope I cut out enough. I just took, like I said, I took scraps of what I already had. Okay, I just put this on top of where I left off. I'm going to turn it over and glue it back here. Just some glue to hold that. I might put a dab where it's folded. And I'll try to move that out of the way so we don't see it. Okay, so here we go again. And like I said, you can find these really about the only place I have found these candy cane forms are the Dollar Tree, not the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. You may find them somewhere else. I ordered some last year. You can order online. Of course, when you do that, you have to buy a case. I'm trying to remember how many were in a case, like 24, something like that, which, you know, it's only $24 for a whole case. So it's really not bad. And you might even find some other type form. Here I am, I've used all of that. I think instead of coming up here, I'm going to just fold it back here. See, I'm just folding it and don't even have to come to the edge. Just going to fold it right there because the back's not going to matter. We're going to cover it up. And this way it won't be too thick on the front. So I got that. Ready for another piece? I think we're going to have plenty. And you might get a couple of little pleats or whatever, but that's going to be hidden when we get everything else in there. So I hope you guys are getting the Christmas bug. I mean, everybody in the craft world is on top of Christmas right now. So I'm going to just make sure I'm going the right way there. Okay. So I want the folded piece to be down here. So, okay, let me see. Well, I'm coming around at a diagonal. Now here I am at the curve. Take your hands and manipulate a little. I'm going to put a little more glue. Can't get, it comes through that. So be careful. It was a little warm. Be careful. All right, so here we go. Now, when I got to this curve, if you see this sort of making a little pleat, I just took it and folded it over here toward the back, and then just come over this way with it. See? And again, same thing is going to happen right here. You see this? Be covered. See if I just sort of pull up on it, that little pucker is going to go away. So it's really not hard. This stuff is so nice and soft, and you don't have to really worry about it. You can manipulate it pretty easily. See, there's a little bit of a little pleat, but you just have to maneuver. We're coming around the bend, and it's going pretty easily here. And again, there's a little piece that when I push this over, it just goes back down. Okay, I'm at the end of this piece, so I'm going to just turn it under like that. Put a little glue. Ow! Okay, I should know better than that. All right, here we go. I just made it. Hopefully I've got enough glue on there. I know I got enough on my fingers. So I'm going to go with one of these short pieces because more. Isn't that wonderful? It didn't take very long, did it? This is only the second one I've ever made, so forgive me for all my mistakes. Okay. I glued the two together a little bit. And then we'll start it again. Just hold that down. Be sure this is folded. And the batting, I'm not sure, to tell you the truth, I don't know what it costs, but I know it's not very much. And you can get the batting, oops, I don't have a camera here. You can get the batting at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, anywhere that sells material, for sure, or quilting supplies will sell batting. Now this kind of batting though is in a sheet. It's not the kind that is in most of your pillows. You know, the kind that sort of pull it out by the hands full. But this is, well, I should have used a longer one, but that's all right. I'll just glue this down. So, if you are familiar with quilting, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you don't want to buy just a bag full that you have to pull out and it's not in a sheet. But see, you can tell this was in a sheet. And you can buy it. I'm thinking many times it'll be on a bolt, just like a yard of material. And to tell you the truth, I don't know exactly how much that it took. My guess would be a yard and a half would be plenty. Maybe more than enough, I'm not sure. But I just happened to have this, and I had that idea, and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. And I just loved the way the first one turned out. There's just something about, you don't want 10 different colors sometimes. So I only had 2 colors in that. So here I go at the end. I'm at the end, and I'm going to go around. See, here's the end. I'm going to go around so that there's a little bit of overhang here. Here we go. So there we are at the end. And I'll just glue that down. See, I just put some glue right there. Then I'm going to just take this over here and cut. I'm going to cut just a little bit back from the edge. If I can get to. So here we are. I'll glue these together. And then I just took the ends. I can start with this one. You can see all that. I just sort of pushed it in. Push in what's hanging over. I'm just pushing it in. And then I took my glue gun, put a spot of glue there, and then don't put your fingers in the glue, but just sort of fold it over on itself like that and hold it till it dries. You know, if I had my handy dandy silicone spatula, it's warm enough now. I mean, cool enough. Okay, I'll do the other end. I'm going to get my spatula and show you. Silicone. How would crafters that use glue live without it? I absolutely love it. I set my glue skillet on a piece of silicone, and if you drop something in there, you can just scoop it out, put it on the silicone. When it dries a little, tear the glue off. Doesn't hurt it a bit. Doesn't hurt the silicone. Okay, here again is an opening. And I think I can see in here, and I'll just put some glue inside the opening. Then I will take my handy dandy spatula that the glue does not harm. And just sort of mash that together. And there we go. We've already done most, well, I won't say most of the work because I like to embellish. I get stuck in the embellishment part. Okay, I'm going to stick that in just a little bit more. You can always go back and glue it some more. I think I just didn't hold it enough. And so the next thing to do will be to take our rope and wrap it around. Now, all of my little, my spacing may not be the greatest. Some of these are bigger than others. The spacing between the edges that were the folded edges. But I just took it and I tried to just take the rope around each one of those. Now what I did is I was going for the middle of each one of these, and it worked out. I wonder, I don't know, if it might have worked better if I had gone for the edges. Not sure. I'm just going to do it like I did before because I know that worked pretty well. So the edge of the end of your rope is usually taped. If it's not, you just need to get a piece of tape and tape it so it won't fray. Then I also put a little bit of glue on it just to keep the fraying down. Okay, so I just put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to start. See, as you can see here, I just started at the bottom and went around. So I'm starting at the bottom, and you can go whichever direction you like. I don't think I have a preferable direction, but we'll give it a try here. I'm going to go ahead. I'll go ahead and glue this first piece, my starter. I'll give that a second to dry. But you know, I didn't even glue the rope. I might have glued just a few when I got all finished, but it just stays on there. So here we go. Let's see, I think I went, no I didn't. Just a minute. I might need to glue the first one a little bit more. So I got that down. I'm going to go up here. Now watch how easy this is. I'm just going up sort of through the middle of each of these little sections. I'm hoping that I have enough to go around it. If I don't, I'll just get some more later. You guys able to see what I'm doing, I hope? Okay. Well, round and round. Where we stop, nobody knows. Round and around. This is, I hate to say it, but it's so simple. It doesn't look, I think it's just turned out really pretty, and I don't think it's hard to do at all. Well, my problem is taking too long to pick out things to go on it. I like to look, and look, and then I try to decide, and if I have too many things to choose from, that's not usually good for me. I just take too long on it. Here we go, we're going up and around. Okay, we've about made it through the little curve. I'll turn this around. Wow! I didn't quite make it, did I? But it's okay. I don't think I'm going to pull that down and see. I'll put that across here, and the next time I go to Home Goods, I'll, if I think I don't think I even need another piece. So I'm going to go over here to the back, and again I'll put a little glue on the frayed edge. There's a piece of tape also on there, and take my silicone spatula. Those, let's see, where did I buy those? You can get them, oh, I think I got that at the Dollar General for like $1.50 or something. And oh, it's worth everything it costs for sure. So, got that all down. Now, this is just something you can do if you want to. You could go through and just glue every once in a while, maybe. A little spot of glue underneath some of the ropes. Now, sometimes on the batting, you don't want to get too much glue on batting that will be seen, because with some of the batting, it turns sort of a yellow color. Okay, so I'm just putting a little spot under some of the ribbon. Ta-da! and we've done that. And unless you have friends that are going to come along and measure and say, oops, you left too much space between these two, you know, you're okay. It won't. It won't hurt anything. Now the next thing is our bow. If you did have anything irregular here, it would cover it. So I think I will, though, try to find enough to go around here next time I go to Home Goods. But I think I'll go ahead and put the little piece of felt that I cut out in the shape of the candy cane frame. I think I'll go ahead and put that on. And I'll cut that end off, but I'll just put a little glue there. Put a little glue. You don't really have to do that much. A little spot of glue. I'm from Kentucky. Right now we're having a fairly good day weather-wise. We've had snow. Don't know if you guys have had snow. I love it. I love it. I love it. Some people will try to hurt me over saying that. I was a teacher. I'm a retired teacher. And I love to get a snow day. Some of the people but I wanted it to come because I loved having a day at home. And I love just having a day to, you know, when you feel like you can't get out, it's not your fault. You're not going to the grocery. It's not your fault. You're not out doing some work. It's too cold. You just can't do those things. I'm going to leave that, and I might cut this off a little, this end. I think I'll leave that on in case I do buy another little strip of rope. I should have just tightened it, and it would have worked out, I'm sure. Okay, so we got that much done. The next thing we need to do, see how we got that sort of covered up? And we will be tying the bow on, and so you'll see the wire back there, and I'll cut that off later. So let me put that aside. Now we gotta make a bow. I love to make bows. Love, love, love. There are so many ways a bow can be made. Being made by hand, which is the way my mother made the bows. She didn't have a bow maker. She always made hers by hand. It was a little hard on your hands sometimes, but that's all she had at the time and the only way she knew to do it. This is called the Easy Bow Maker, so many of you probably have that. And I'll use that today. And if you get it, when I first got mine, these just would not stay down. These two posts are, you know what they are. I'll think of it in a minute. And so I just took a hammer and just, that one's a little loose. If they do get loose, just hammer again. And, okay. So what these two are for, they hold the ribbon. You put your ribbon down in there, it holds it. This, I wondered at first, I thought, what in the world purpose does that serve? These are dowel rods, okay? Well, it sort of stays up against that and keeps it from pulling out too wide. It just sort of keeps it steady. This is a spool holder. If I want to put my ribbon on there while I'm working and making my bow, I can do that. This is a big spool and it would still work, but my husband made me this for me. It's just a, what is that, a 2x4? And then he drilled a little hole and I glued my dowel rod in it. And I can put my spool on here if I want to. And I can put it over here or wherever I want to put it. Okay, let's get started on the bow. I have twist ties. Some people like to use pipe cleaners or chenille stems, as many people call them. But I really like the zip ties, and I'll show you what we do with those at the end. I'm just going to use the one ribbon, so that'll make it a little easier. Now, if you've ever made bows, if you've made them by hand or whatever, here's what I like to think about. Well, first I want some tails. You see, I do have on this bow, you may not have even noticed these little tails. And because sometimes they turn under and you think they're just another loop. And so I like to have some tails, and on this bow I had 6 tails. So I'm going to start out with 2 tails. Let me show you what I did. Put my ribbon, I actually decide how long I want my tails. I think I only had them like 6 inches. So, oh, this is another handy dandy thing on this Easy Bow Maker. Look, it has a ruler. On each side, it goes from 0 up to 8, 0 back to 8. So you can measure either way. So I'm going to measure 6 inches right here. Right there is 6 inches. I'm going to scrunch, and I'm going to put it between these 2 rods that are going to hold the bow together. It's not a very big tail, but it's just all we need. All right, I'll measure in the other direction 6 inches. And then I can just cut that off. And I think I will do that. Now, sometimes you can just continue with your bow, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut these off. And then I'll start my bow. And then I will put in some more tails later. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is I want the tails to be some going this way, some going this way. So you'll see when I do it. So it doesn't matter which side of the Easy Bow Maker you start on. Just go down about an inch or so, and you want to scrunch, put it in between the rods, and you want to turn it. You want to twist and push it down. Now, why in the world did we want to do that? Well, here's why. Because if I hadn't, you see right now which side is showing? Well, when I demonstrate that, what if I had just put it down like this? And then when I get ready to make a loop, what would have happened? The bad side of the ribbon would be showing, or the wrong side. If you sew, we always call it the wrong side and the right side. So this is the right side. So I have 1 inch allowance there. This is the center of the bow right here. This is going to be the center. I'm going to have so many loops here, so many loops here. In this bow, I had 9 loops on each side. But the way I did it, of course, first I'll twist. And you can do your, people have different little do with the maker to make it like they want it. So I measure out 6 inches. And then I come over here. Now, actually, what somebody, I don't know, I heard this, you really only want 6 inches. Measure out 6 inches and come up here, because that's not 6 inches. You want to measure from here to here. That's 6 inches. Scrunch. And just put it down. And again, we have to twist or else we'll get the wrong side going. All right, here's what my aim is. I'm going to do 1 loop here, or 2 loops on this side and 1 loop on this side. And then I'll vice versa. I'll do 1 on the other side and 2 on the other side. But just watch. I twisted. I'm going to measure out here to 6 inches. And I want 6 inches to here. So I want to scrunch right there. Push it down. Now, are they going to match? We'll just take them right here and see if they are the same. See, I just pulled these 2 up. And they do look the same, and it's not going to kill anybody if you do get a little bit off. All right, I'll twist one more time. I'll go out to 6 inches, and then I will come into the dowel rods. That should be 6 inches. And I go down. You see I have 2 there, and I have 1 here so far, right? So I'm ready. Whoop, make sure that's 6. That's it. This one looks a little longer than that one, so see, I can just pull that in before I make my final. Okay, so now I'm going back. I twisted, and I'm going to do 6 inches here, 6 inches, 6 inches. Now, when you've done enough of these, and I know the ladies on Grace Monroe, they've made so many bows that, especially the daughter, Amanda, she doesn't measure, she just, doop, 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 and they always turn out beautifully. And Lori Jacobs and all these people that are so good at this. But see, I'm going to pull one over this way. I've got my 1. Now, on this side I had 2, remember? So I want to try to place 1 in the middle on this side. And I'll explain that in a minute. And it's not really even that important that you know anything about that. Okay, but it takes 12 inches of ribbon though, doesn't it? So I'm going to twist and do another one. So I know I want 9 on each side, and that's basically all you have to do. Just keep going till you get 9 on each side. But I do like to, if you'll go ahead and sort of place them like I was talking about. You have 1 over here, and then you're going to have 2 like this, and the 1 can go in the middle. If you go ahead and do that while you're making it, you won't have nearly as much work to do when you fluff your bow. Of course, fluffing is fun, so even if you have to fluff a lot, you'll enjoy it, so don't worry about it. All right, here we go. I'm getting a little more brave with my measuring. I'm not. Okay, so we had 2, and then we had 1, and now we're going to have 2. And again, it really doesn't matter about where that really comes into play is when you're using 2 different ribbons, but we'll talk about that sometime if we do 2. All right, so I'm just going to keep going about 6 inches. So there's 1. Twist. Measure 6 inches to the dowel rod. Scrunch. Put it in between the dowel rods and twist. Twist again. The twist is so important. I don't know how you could, I don't think you could really make that mistake, because as soon as you looked at your ribbon, you'd say, I don't have the right side there. Now, some ribbons are the same on both, so you wouldn't even have to twist. But, you know, I don't know if it's because we're creatures of habit, but I usually still want to twist it, because that's the way I've always done it. You know, you have to do things the way you've always done it. Isn't that what a lot of people in church say? Oh, we can't change doing this. This is the way we've always done it. So, I'm twisting. I need the Chubby Checkers song going. Do the twist. So we're going in here. Again, I scrunched. I twist. And let me count. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 3 more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more on each side. That shouldn't. So I measured here. Scrunch. Twist. I measure to here, scrunch, I know that's where it goes. I twist again over here, Oopsie. And then I measure, tired of that? Measure scrunch. You'll be dreaming about measuring scrunching tonight. Okay, there's 2 on that side for sure. All right. And sometimes you might even want to get a little smaller on your loops when you get along, let's say, I might go ahead and make these like 5 inches because this is going to be the top of your bow. And you know how sometimes the middle of the bow, the loops might be a little bit smaller. So you can do that. So I'm twisting, I'm looping, I'm scrunching it, and I'm measuring it to about 5. Twist. And I'll measure to about 5 on this one. And scrunch. So let's see. I lost count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it should be the same. Great, we have it. All you have to do now, oh, I forgot to add in more tails, but I can do that. Even now, I think I could put a tail in right here. I think I'll go this way. I'm going to put a tail about that long. And I can add more when I tie my bow together. So if I want more, I can do that. So here is what I do. You're supposed to take a wire or whatever it is you want to tie this bow together with. This is the middle right here. And I'm going to take my zip tie, or you could take a wire, whatever you like. I might lift that up just a little, and I'm going to put it, can you guys see? I've got it around the middle part. I'm coming up with it. I want to keep it together, so I want to go ahead and get the zip tie started. Now don't hurt that indentation. You'll see an indentation where the posts have indented there, and I want my zip tie to go right over that indentation. Now do you see where I still have room? I didn't take the zip tie all the way. So what I could do, if I want more tails, I just take a piece of ribbon, and I can just stick it in. Let's see, I think I better put it back here, put it on the back. And I'll just put this in here. Put that ribbon right through there. And turn it so that it faces the front. I can always cut it off. I probably made those a little long. Okay, so here we are. We've got this gathered together. And yeah. This is the bottom right here, right here. So I want to pull my twist tie down here and then start tightening. But before I did that, I should have, and it doesn't really matter if I think I can still get this in there. I've got my wire, and I want to stick it through the zip tie. See what I'm doing right here? I'm just going to poke it through. I should have done it before I tightened it up too much. Sorry, folks. Just a second. Try to hold that down. There we go. No problemo. Okay. Except there's a little crook in the wire. There we go. So, I added a tail, and I added my wire. And why did I need that wire? Because I'm going to use that to wrap around the candy cane and hold the bow on there. So now I'm ready to really tighten up on this. So that's pretty tight, and that's really one of the keys to being able to fluff your bow. get that zip tie or wire, whatever you use, tighten that as much as you can. Now, if you have a fluff box, I don't know if all of you are familiar with that. I have one that I made myself, but since all of you wouldn't let me just go ahead and fluff it without it. So now what I need to do is make all these loops look like loops. Just put your hands in there. You can do all of them on one side first and then do the other side. You can do a few over here, and you even sometimes need to twist that way and try to get all your loops all puffed out. Oh, that's so much fun because that's really where the bow turns beautiful. I can use one hand, I can use two. And then you might flip it out and then go back and get everything in order. Get all the bows, the loops, I mean, sort of fluffied out. Hold on to those. And I'm just gonna fluff, fluff, fluff. And you'll want to go back to your bow over and over and fluff. The ones that have done many bows know what I'm talking about. I started making bows with my mom, I hate to say how many years ago, then y'all be trying to guess how old I am. Let's say decades ago. She had a job. She's passed since then with Alzheimer's. She had full-blown Alzheimer's, and she passed away in 2011. But she could make the most beautiful bows, and she did all organic bow maker. In fact, I think she bought one of these Easy Bow makers one time, and she didn't know what to do with it, so she just put it up in the cabinet. And she didn't ever make any with the bow maker. But now I got my tails, and if you'll just take, of course, this is wired ribbon, which I wouldn't even want to attempt any kind of bow unless you're making maybe a hair bow or something for cheerleaders or your child, and any other time you need wired ribbon. Now, remember I made those two a little bit longer, and you know, right now I'm going to keep it that way, but I can always cut it off. And normally I do the dovetail, and I don't know why, for some reason I wanted to do I just cut it off at an angle over there, but I'll just go ahead and dovetail. And that's just where you fold your ribbon lengthwise, and then if you start on with your scissors, if you start on the folded edge, you want to make a diagonal cut up to the wire, and you got it. If you do it the wrong way, and I have done that many times, I've cut it the other way, you won't get a dovetail, you'll get a point. So just remember before you cut, look at it and say, is the point to this V, it makes a V, is the point of this going to be in the middle of the ribbon? Well, the middle of the ribbon is on the fold. So I can start on the wired edge, but I remember to go down to the folded edge, diagonally downwards. But you'll figure that. Oh, I figured it out after I did about 10 points instead of these. So here we go. And every once in a while, you still do it. So see how finished and nice those ends look? And again, I may want to cut those off. So now I have my zip tie down here. I don't want that. I need my wire cutters so that I don't ruin my scissors, but oh well, they're over there. I'll go ahead and use my scissors. And so, and now I still have my wire that I want to use to attach to the cane. candy cane. Put that aside. See, now I have my handy dandy candy cane. I still have to take care of that later, so I'm just going to fold that under. So you want to decide where you want it. Now, what I've heard is a good rule is to go straight over from the end of the candy cane here. And that can be, you know, about the middle of the bow. Let me twist this a little more. Okay. So I probably want to put it about there. Oh, is that not beautiful? Okay. Let's see what happens here. All right, I want to look at my two long tails, and I do want them to go downward. Go about right here. And some people might want to put it higher up or lower, but see, I'm just taking my wire, I wrapped it around the cane, and I just give it a couple twists till I decide if I have it exactly where I want. I love this ribbon, it's so good. Now, I don't want it to go too far over there or too far in here. So let me make sure I have it just like I want it. And we can always fluff more later. And we have our two long tails down here. We have this one up here. This one over here. See that? I'll just keep fluffing forever. So, I think I like it there. So I think I will go ahead and give it a good twist. And sometimes it's better to twist the object rather than the wire. And I'm still not going to cut that off yet. I'll cut that off at the very end. So here we go. We've got this much of our candy cane done. Here's something that I just went in my stash. I have lots of stash, and found these a package of these sticks, the white sticks. I got a package of white sticks. Didn't have a clue what I would do with them, but I love white. So I just took it and I just sort of judged where I thought the middle was. I mean, that wasn't the middle, but it doesn't really matter. And I just broke it. I might can cut it a little bit, yeah. I can cut that a little bit. So I just broke it in half, or in two pieces, and I just sort of did this with it. And yes, that is, I knew there was some reason that I wanted to keep that wire out here where I could get to it, because I did use that, but I may just use a different wire. But isn't that cute? Just something like that, just a stick. And I think I'll just take another piece of wire and do that. Or let me see. Actually, guys, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm gonna just unwind this very quickly. And let's see. I'm just gonna, I'll take the bow off and I'll just put these two in there. I might even put a little dab of glue, because the middle of this won't even be seen. Let's see, one's a little shorter than the other. And like I said, I don't really care about that at all. I like things to be irregular, you know. I don't like everything to be perfect. It's a good thing. I guess nothing I do is perfect. Good thing I don't care about it. Let that dry a little bit. While that's drying, let me show you what else I have. I sort of have decided, though, I'll show you what I've got, and you may have a bunch of this stuff. I think I already showed you part of this. I love these red and white berries, and I love all of that stuff. But I think what I'm going to go with are, this was on the stem together like this. Let me show you. It was like this with these two also on it. And so I just cut two of those off. And I'm going to put those, one at the bottom and one at the top. I'll show you that in a minute. So I won't be using the elf legs. And then on this candy cane, I had a lollipop, and I have another one. It's got a little pink, sort of looks more pinky. So I'm not sure if I'll use that or something else, but oh y'all, I love these. And you can make your own of these too. I've got some I've made. But I also found, look, putting the gingerbread little guys look cute on there. Oh, and I also found these little hats, elf hats or Santa hats, whatever. And I thought that would be cute. So we'll just see here in a minute. Okay, this should be dry. And I have my bow. Put that like that. In fact, I think I might even just glue it on here. This way. Who would have thought? I had no idea what I would do with those sticks, but I knew they'd come in handy somehow. So now I have my bow, and I will just put it on top of that. And again, I will twist, but this time I'm not going to twist so much. I don't think I have anything else I'll be doing, but we'll see. And then I just sort of push that down. So far, I love it. So I'm going to just do a little bit of embellishment and we'll be done. Like I said, I am going to use this. I believe I'll use the short one at the bottom, the long one at the top. Doesn't really matter. So what I'll do here is I will get my wire cutters. Oh, okay. Oh, that little stinker came off. Oh yeah, I lost the little white ball too. Okay. I'm going to give that a little smack of glue there. I can't see who's on or if any of you are chatting. I thought I had it where you could chat if you wanted to, but maybe not. So I'm going to take this and just cut off about that much. Leave a few inches. That's about almost 4 inches I left. And I'm going to just put some glue on the stem and just stick it in here between the loops. Let's see. You just stick it in there. Between the loops. And you can even like put maybe one of the loops down on it. Sort of glue it here. And you just got it in. There it goes. There's that. So, and I may even glue the end of that a little more. But I just have it glued down to the candy cane and to the ribbon. And I pull that out. Okay, I'm ready for this one. What do you think? I'll probably bend this one a little bit because I really didn't mean for it to come straight down. When that glue dries a little more, I will do that. Okay, then I'm just gonna stick this one going this way. I'm just gonna find a spot in here that I can get this little wire to go through and just glue it in. I think I might have that one too long. Actually, it doesn't matter if you don't have much wire to work with, because then you don't have to involve as much material in there. Just okay, I'm just going to stick that one. And I said I was going to go that way, didn't I? And then I might even just give it a little spot of glue right there. Hold it on a little tighter. And it's going the direction I wanted. And I've got these. These were from Hobby Lobby. And usually I get things half price there. So the price of this was, where'd it go? $1.59, can you believe that? And then if you get it for half price, it's 80 cents. So, I don't know which one I want. Let me, I think I like this. I don't know. I wish I could see comments and you all could tell me if you think the hats would be prettier. I'm going to put them like up here. Or would the gingerbread guys be cuter? Or those girls? I don't know. I just sort of like the gingerbread. So let's go with that. And we might even add in some berries. Almost done, folks. Don't get weary. Now this says $8.99, so I'm sure I paid $4.50. Pretty sure. Cut that off a little bit. Let me put him down here. Oh, how cute. Yeah, I think he's cuter over here. I'm going to actually put him under this rope, and then he'll really be secure. So, let's see if I can get him under here. Ah, there he goes. There he goes. Oh. What do you guys think? I wish I knew what you all think. Him is cute. And the only other thing I'm going to do is just maybe put a few of these beads. I think I'll cut the stem right here. So you can take your stems. You don't have to have, you can make 2 or 3 stems out of one stem. So this one, let me see if I can get it on. Let me see. Right there. There it is. Oops. All of the price tag didn't come off. I'll get that in a minute. And then I've got this nice big section. I'm trying to think if I would like to put it under here or have a, I think I want some up there. Okay, so let me do this. I'll just put a little up here. Oh, that would be cute right there. So, put a little glue on here. Now my glue skillet would come in handy, but you know, I already had my glue gun going, so I'm just going to stick that down in there and let it stick up to give it a little dimension. And I'll come over here. I think I'll stick this one right there. And girls and boys, we're going to be finished in a few minutes. Let's see, where do I put it? Right there. So, I think, oh, one more thing. I always think I'm done, then I'm not. I stuck a few little white things down in the bow. You think him is cute? Can you see it? You think that looks all right? I know you're having to look sideways, but so just anything, really. These berries, these same berries that I used would be cute. I'll just do a couple of them. I just tore these off. There are 4. I'll try that. I know you're supposed to work in odd numbers. Let me do 5. Okay. I'm going to cut these short. And put a little glue. Let me just stick one in the middle here against the ribbons. Got that stuck. Oh, cute, cute, cute. And I'm going to stick that in a ribbon. See what I did? I stuck one down in there. I stuck one down in there. If you guys can see, stuck one here, stuck one here, and I'll just find random places to put these other 3. And then I promise we'll be done. Maybe. The way I would hang these, I would just get the wreath hangers that you can buy. You can buy those at the Dollar Tree for $1. You know, the kind that hang over the door. And then you just put your arm, stick this right down here in this ribbon. I have another one right there. And let's go over here. But anyway, you can just use those wreath hangers and hang these. If it doesn't hang down far enough, all you have to do is take a piece of ribbon or something like that and tie it on the wreath hanger, and you can lower it a little bit. Put the ribbon around the bottom of the wreath hanger, and that would hang it lower. Okay, just one more piece. I think I'll just put it right here, right in there. And if your ribbon gets wrinkled, which it will, just take your fingers, put your hand in it, fluff it out, push it down, whatever. And there we go. Hope you guys can see. Let me do this. Take the and show you. Oops. See, there's the top. And there's the bottom. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Bye.